And many of our viewers may say, well, I'm really excellent in English, I'm really good at it, but I have concerns about financial sponsorship, which we call. So could you walk us through this financial sponsorship, which means the bank statements, right?
That's right.
And how much they should pay? It should be like, should one person pay, which could be many people pushing the money together, and how does the university treat that money? And take it right away, you know?
Yeah, so in order to get the I-20, every student has to show the ability to study here financially.
Okay.
And so every school that can host F1 students have to come up with an estimated expense for our student population or for one student, and that expense is typically for a year.
Okay.
And so roughly for an out-of-state student that's paying tuition, they're going to pay roughly about $8,000 a semester, right?
8,000.
And it's $8,000 a year, $4,000 a semester. Okay. And so living expenses, we guesstimated about $8,500. And so in order to acquire that I-20 that they take to the embassy, they have to prove through bank statements from a sponsor, or they could be self-sponsored, that they have the ability, the financial ability to study here and not here to work or do anything like that. They want the student to come here and study and become a professional in something.
Okay, so approximately somebody coming from Middle East or North Africa, how much they should show in their bank statements to be admitted in this college?
And so right now our estimated expenses for 1 year is $16,850.
Okay, that's
and so they have to show that for 1 year, and then that'll allow them to issue the I-20 to go to the embassy.
Okay, and do they pay that amount of money for the tuition, everything, before they get the visa or when they come here?
This is just proof. This is proof that they have those available funds.
Okay.
So students don't have to disperse that right away. That's just like what they potentially could cost the student in a year.
Okay, and so when does the university actually charge them that money?
Well, so it's really up to the student to disperse that money. Okay. So when they register for their classes, there'll be a due date for that tuition dollars, and they'll have to pay that money by a certain deadline in order to stay in the classes.
Okay.
And so that'll, like for example, registration for us for the upcoming summer and fall is coming up pretty soon, near the end of April. And so for the next fall term, students will have to pay by sometime in July. And so they'll be able to register in late April, so they'll have that amount of time to pay the classes.
That's great. And the other concern is this. They say we would be able to pay this amount of money, but is there another way to sponsor our education while we are in this college, through scholarships or work on campus or something like that?
So a lot of F1 students, we see the need of, they want to do something with their extra time. Because a lot of our students are really heavily involved with our college campus, and so they want to work part-time or something like that. And an F's visa is very restrictive on working. And so they allow them to work on campus if it's like affiliated with our college or like a vendor. So some of our students here recently have gotten some part-time jobs to work around their class schedule at some like the bookstore here on the campus, the library, things like that.
So how many hours are they allowed to work a week?
Just part-time, so 20 hours.
20 hours.
Yep.
إذا كانت لديكم أي أسئلة حول التسجيل في الجامعات والقبول والشروط فأسألوني وأعطوني أسئلتكم، أنا سأذهب بتلك الأسئلة إلى المكتب المخصص في جامعات أمريكا هنا، ونتعرف عن الأجوبة من المديرين والمسؤولون عن تلك المكاتب، المكاتب الدولية ومكاتب القبول. لديكم أي سؤال دوري أن أحضر تلك الأسئلة إلى المكتب المخصص هنا، فلن تجدوا هذه الخدمة في أي جهة أخرى، فقط مع مستر كيو.